Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back here today for another game review. Today I'm very excited to check out the best of Chronology, a game for all time from Great American Puzzle Factory. This is for 2 to 8 players, age is 9+, and it'll take about 25 to 30 minutes to play. And in the best of Chronology, a game for all time, you are going to be putting events that have happened throughout history, such as sport events, arts and entertainment, history events, that sort of thing, into order chronologically, just based off guessing. It sounds a lot like timelines because it is a lot like timelines. But this one does have a press your luck aspect inserted into the game as well. And it came out before timelines. But is it good? Does this game deserve to be timelines? Let's open it up and I'll tell you what I think. Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of the best of Chronology, a game for all time. So first and foremost, we have our handy dandy rule booklet. It's 2 pages, and that's it. It's very well done. Should have you up and running in no time at all. They got plenty of examples, and I can teach you how to play right now because it is a ridiculously simple game. So in the best of Chronology, you're going to be trying to put events throughout history that actually happened into order. If you're the first person to get 10 into order, then you will win the game. But that's not the whole game. Now, if you're saying that sounds kind of familiar, that's because there's another immensely popular game out there called Timelines that does this as well. But this actually came first, oddly enough. So let's show you exactly how it works. We'll get into the components, then we'll get into the gameplay. So component-wise, everybody's going to get one of these nice foldable little time locks. And the goal is to have 10 cards underneath it. Next, you're going to have 4 categories of cards: history, sports, arts and entertainment, and inventions and discoveries. You'll also have a die, which you'll roll on your turn, and that will tell you which of the categories you are going to be getting to pick from. Which one you're going to be doing, I should say. If you get the black or the white, that's going to mean that either you or the person reading the question is going to get to pick. And that's pretty much the whole rules of the game. Let's show you how it works. So when you first start the game, you're just going to take a random card, and you're going to place it, boom, on the bottom of your timeline. And now we have 1979. Sports. This year in basketball, Larry Bird led Indiana State University to the NCAA championship game, losing to Michigan State, led by Magic. So now that it's my turn, everyone has this down here. I'm going to roll the dice, get blue, and now the person to my left is going to read this to me. So I'll try and cover that up. And hockey players Scott and Brennan Olsen invented inline skates in this year. Did that happen before or after 1979? I would definitely go before, and I'm definitely wrong. I'm a dum-dum. So my turn would be over, and it would go on to the next person, which we're going to pretend is me once again, because, wow, that was terrible. So now I have purple, arts and entertainment. George Gershwin wrote Rhapsody in Blue in this year. I have no idea what that is, but I definitely think it happened before 1979, so I would say it goes right there, and sure enough, it did, 1924. Now, in timelines, your turn would be over, and you just get to put it here and go about your merry way. However, in this game, there's a press your luck aspect, because when you earn a card, it goes on top of the time lock. It does not go on the bottom of the time lock just yet, because you can do another card if you would like. But if you get the next card wrong, then you lose both this card and the next card. So we'll push it to the limit. We're going to walk along the razor's edge. South Africa's first black president, Nelson Mandela, took office in this year. Oh, man. This is actually kind of cheating because I remember this question coming up when I was playing with the kids earlier, so I'm going to go right there, and sure enough, I was right. It happened after 1979. Now, if it happened in between 1924 and 1979, then I would just move this card right here, and I'd place it right there, but I did know it went right there. So we'll do one more, and let's roll the dice and see what happens. Yellow, and I'll go towards the middle of the stack, so that way I won't know what the answer is. In this year, volcano Mount St. Helens erupted in Washington State, causing massive destruction. Ooh, yeah, I got to play the numbers here. I'm going to go in between 1920. No, I'm going to go before 1924. No, it was 1980. God, stupid 1980. I hate your guts. And you're seeing a lot of things that are happening in the 1900s. I want to reassure you that there's a lot that are 18, 15, 1700s, that sort of thing in this game. But since I missed it, all these I would lose. Now let's pretend that I did stop, then these would just boop, boop, go right down there. And then on my next turn, if I had to do something, I'd have to decide if it goes here, 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 or there. And the first person to get 10 cards underneath their time lock wins the game, and that, in a nutshell, is how you're going to play the Best of Chronology, a game for all time. Alrighty then, the Best of Chronology, a game for all time. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. First and foremost, this is pretty much just a trivia game. And it's not pretty much, it just is a trivia game where you're going to be trying to guess when events happened, either before or after different events. And that's going to be a turnoff to a lot of people. Also, if someone's really good with history and knowing all sorts of facts and dates and stuff like that, they're going to crush in this game. And there's no two ways about it. It's just, that's the nature of the beast with a game like this. Also, if you're thinking like, man, is this better than Timelines? No, it's not. Timelines is a superior game for a variety of different reasons. First and foremost, I want to talk about the components in the Best of Chronology because they're really bad. Like, the rule booklet's great. I will give them props in the rule booklet. But these cards, oh, they're so thin. They're so thin. It's like two pieces of paper just mushed together. And it's just, oh, not good. The time lock, they're serviceable. And then the box is really weird. It's just a bizarre box. And this isn't really so much of a con. It's kind of a con. It's a little bit of a con just because of how weird it is and how it feels weird. But I'm going to show you. So this is the bottom of the box. And then this is the top of the box. And it's what? Normally, these two should be the same height. See, that's how games work, game companies, except for this one. Oh my god! And except for this one, oh my gosh, this is different too! Maybe I just never noticed it all this time. Now I'm just paranoid. Are you kidding me right now? No, see? There, that's normal. That's normal. Okay, this kind of went off the rails here. But let's get back on track. Let's salvage this. Because the 40 or 50 people who are going to be interested in this old game, let's get it back on the road. Yeah, the box is just weird, and it like presses up in there when you're holding it, and it feels like it's going to break. It's a minor con, it's a minor nitpick, but it is something I did want to mention because people are particular about their boxes. And apparently I am, and I didn't realize it. Continuing on with the cons. Oh, it's dumped everywhere. Continuing on with the cons. The game, I feel like Timeline succeeds because they streamline the game. This is all sports. This is all inventions. This is all discoveries. This is all when locations were discovered or where locations were formed or whatever. And that makes the game a lot easier because, you know, if you know nothing about sports, you're not going to play the Timeline sports. You're just not going to do it. Whereas with this one, if you don't know anything about sports, there's still a 1 in 6 chance you're going to get sports. And when someone knows you don't know something about sports, there's really a 2 in 6 chance they're going to bet sports because they're probably going to pick sports every single time they get to pick because they don't want you to get the point. And I didn't think it was going to bug me. Honestly, I did not. I've always thought, man, I wish there was just a Timelines where it was just a whole bunch of random stuff just mixed together. And now, after having that, essentially, I see the fault in that. And I apologize, Timelines. I apologize, Asmodee. Apparently you know how to make games. And this is a minor nitpick, but it's just... It shows me why I think Timelines is the next step in that. Now, that being said, and I think I'm done with the cons. I think I'm telling you right now I recommend Timelines over this because Timelines is much smaller. It does come in a tin, which will annoy people. The cards are much smaller, because that's another thing. Having 10 of these big old cards in front of you is a lot of cards, and it does take up a decent amount of table space. But moving on to the pros, Chronology, the Best of Chronology, a game for all time, which, by the way, is a really stupid name. That's another con. I think it's a good game. I do, because the basic premise of trying to put things in order and trying to guess it is fun. And the best part about this game is the press your luck aspect. And being honest with you, I think I'm going to take that press your luck aspect and add it to my other games of Timelines and make that a regular house rule, because I really did like that. It allowed for people to catch up, because we've all played Timelines. Well, most people, I don't say most people, a lot of people have played Timelines. And one of the things about Timelines is if you get behind and someone else gets ahead, it's really, it just feels like you're not going to be able to catch up, because you only get one chance per turn, and if you screw that chance up, well, then you're done. But with that press your luck aspect, it's like, oh, I might be able to roll off 2 of them. I might be able to roll off 3 of them. And it's a natural catch-up mechanism, which Timeline already had a catch-up mechanism because the more cards you have, the harder it is to pinpoint exactly where the card would go. But this adds another catch-up mechanism to a game that I feel like actually could use it. So the next time I play Timeline, I'm definitely going to be installing that house rule into it to see if we enjoy it. Continuing on to the pros, 2 to 8 players, it does accommodate a wide amount of players. And that's about all I can say. I mean, I think it's a good game, but bottom line, I can't recommend it at all. Go get Timeline. Now, if you find this and it's dirt cheap at a thrift store and you like the idea of playing the game, then yeah, check it out. But for everybody else, I would say get on Amazon, spend the 10, 11, 12 bucks, whatever it is. Get yourself a copy of Timeline because it is a superior game. It has artwork on the cards. The cards are smaller, so it takes up a smaller table space. The box is much smaller, so you can really take it with you on all sorts of different trips because I take Timeline with me a good deal. Actually, I'm going to take it into class with me today now that we're talking about it because I really do enjoy that game, and the kids love this, so I think they're going to love that. But in the end, the best of Chronology, a game for all time for the Great American Puzzle Factory. I don't know if that company's still in business, but if this would have became the next Timelines, I mean, they could have made a lot of money off it. But as it stands now, it's an interesting game to look at and see. While they did have this great idea, they didn't realize it as well as they could have, and another company did, and that company made a lot of money off it. And now there's like 10 Timelines expansions. So that is the best of Chronology, a game for all time, a game that I think is good. I'm not going to be keeping it, though. I am going to be putting it in my classroom where a kid can get it for great behavior, because I already know one little girl in particular who loves history a lot is stoked to get this. She's going to be trying to sweep and do a whole bunch of extra stuff so she can get off the chart. But there you go. That is the best of Chronology, a game for all time. An interesting look at a game that didn't quite realize its potential. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below. In the comments below, let me know, have you ever been robbed? Oh, and in the show notes below, if you want to support the channel, click on that little Amazon link. Buy anything on Amazon. Throw us a couple pennies my way. Really does help support the channel. Yes, we have been robbed. Actually, it was right after we moved into our new house. This current house right here. Someone threw a brick through our window. The brick was being used to like hold down something outside, I guess. That's what the old person who used to live here did. We had no idea the brick was even out there. But yeah, they threw the brick through the window and they climbed up onto our window and they reached in and grabbed my wife's purse off the kitchen table. And yeah, needless to say, it was a big source of stress because my wife was pregnant at the time, and she actually went into labor about a month early, and our kid had to go. My youngest son Sean had to go. My oldest son Sean had to go to the NICU, and my wife blames that because that was really a big source of stress. Like, oh my gosh, did we move into the wrong neighborhood? Because we also at this time were realizing that our neighbors were just straight up trash, like just bad people. And I'm pretty sure my neighbors broke into my car at one point and stole some stuff as well. And the neighbors across from us were straight up white trash, like really bad people. Cops constantly being called on them. But luckily, there's a silver lining to the story. Our neighbors, the husband and the oldest son, got arrested at the same time. So I'm assuming they were doing something pretty bad. And then they decided to move out. So that was great. And then the neighbors across from there, I guess they were doing meth. So awesome, house got condemned, they got arrested, and bada boom, I got a good neighborhood. But let me know in the comments below, have you ever been robbed? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Or just really diversified it, and I don't know. I think someone's breaking into my house right now. I should probably grab something to staff them. I'm not joking right now. I'll be right back, YouTube. False alarm. No one getting their head bashed in with a candle today.